Hey, 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 what's up? BigH Trucking, sitting at a Love's between the border of Massachusetts and New York on I-90 going east. I got a drop in South Portland, Maine tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Allowed to arrive 2 hours early. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get there, 4 or 5 o'clock. Only 232 miles away, and I started my trip yesterday at 7:30 p.m. in Petersburg, Virginia. 322-mile deadhead up to Pennsylvania. From Pennsylvania, it's a miracle that I was able to make it through Washington and Baltimore with absolutely no traffic. Really happy about that, because usually I don't care what night there's construction, something going on, you always get snafus. It's an absolute beautiful day here. Yesterday I had the AC running in my truck. It was 73 degrees. Today it's 32 degrees. So I say I don't know, because of the difference between the night and the day, so I don't feel like adding it up. But it's well over 600 miles for the day. Put my time on. This is the most I've run in a few days. Last couple loads have been pretty close. No deadhead, virtually no deadhead, and within 250, 300 miles. So that has been my last couple of loads. But today, this check has been my worst, one of my top 10 worst checks I've ever received as a lease driver for Prime. And you guys, if you're new coming into the business, as we all say, if you listen to other Prime drivers, there's the really, really phenomenal weeks, there's good weeks, there's average weeks, and there's absolutely going to be shitty weeks. And the reason being, not for the lack of loads, but first load I picked up ran 500 miles, but it was due, picked up on a Thursday, it wasn't due till Monday. So my fleet manager and I decided to, I wasn't going to sit on load for 4 days to go 500 miles. So we decided to use one of the Prime's drop yards. So we ended up dropping there. So of course I don't get the full payment for it. The second one was going from Indiana to Minnesota, and the check engine light comes on and my truck started doing some faulty things, so I only ran that 100 miles up the road. So I got obviously no money on that, very little. It was like $110. And my last trip, which was the big one, which was $2,300. So I grossed just a tad over $3,000. That was it. It was like 303. Crappy week, because after my fixed costs and variable costs, I got left with $216. So that's no way to, nothing to brag about, but being honest with you. I'm not deterred. I'm trying to bring transparency to the way I run, what I get paid, and as I say all the time, results will vary. I've been watching some other videos of lease drivers from our company who just aren't doing well. Just their expectations are not met to what they thought they could make. And let me say something to you. This is a 1099 lease, or even if you work for a company as a trucker, what you're getting paid is going to change each week or fluctuate each week. Now, as a company guy running miles, one week you can have 3,000, next week you can have 2,000. One week you can have 3,500, next week you have 1,500. It all dictates on the loads. As a lease operator, we don't chase miles, we chase revenue. So depending on where you are, what you're picking up, how far you're running, you may not get a high revenue turnaround. But what I do, as I always say, since I'm on the road and I'm here, I'm going to run my tail off. don't set PTAs for the next day. I try to get to the 90 with the least time expired on my clock as possible, so I can get another load and get down the road. My 300-mile deadhead last night, I was able to get to the shipper with 5 hours and 43 minutes left on my 11-hour clock. I stayed there for 2 hours, so naturally my time was clicking off. The 14-hour clock never stops. So I did a split. I was able to get back the time from when I first arrived to when I left. So I did a split sleeper berth. If you're gonna make money as a lease operator, know that your weekly paychecks are going to fluctuate, sometimes greatly, sometimes very little. But if you're not out here to run, you're not going to make money. Hey, listen, at the end of the day, it's all how hard you work. That's why, for me, this is the easiest job. Why do you say that? Because I have the stamina to just get 6 hours of sleep and push it and keep pushing it and keep pushing it. I always have time. I never had to set my PTA for the next day because I needed to do laundry or I was tired. Right? That's not in my vocabulary. That's not my book. I'm not saying everyone's built like me, because of course not. So again, I try to maximize as many loads in a week as I can possibly do. And with the help of a fleet manager who tends to put you in good, or will put you, and is going to put you in good freight lanes. You may go to a bad one, but the next he or she's going to send you to a good freight lane. So if I get not so good on this one, I'm going to be coming out of Maine. What am I going to get? French fries? But coming out of Pennsylvania was a damn good load. For less than 1,000 miles, I'm doing over $1,900. And that's the line. That's not even the $236 for the fuel. I run my ass off. I never send the PTA. I never send messages like, can you give me a couple more hours? I need a breather. I've never been late. I've never overslept my alarm. And again, you may not be able to do it. I was talking to a friend. He drove his daughter to West Virginia in college. He said it took him 6 months to recover. He was kidding from how long the drive was. But some folks, and it's okay, but don't expect to make the biggest checks at all. Is it inconsistent? Sometimes I think that I should be averaging X amount and I don't. But again, it's the placing of the load. It's where I'm going. Some loads take me 1 day. Some loads take me 3 days to get there. Sometimes the small paying loads, like I won't turn down a load. If it's like 250 miles, I'm getting like $600 for it. I'm not turning that load down. And anybody who turns a load like that down is every nickel adds up at the end of the week. So don't turn down loads, folks. Only have your fleet manager set a PTA if something's wrong with your truck, if you're really sick, or other circumstances. But just don't set a PTA because you feel tired. Now, again, if you don't feel safe to drive, then absolutely don't drive. Don't be silly. Use your own discretion. I'm just telling you how I run my truck. I try to get as many loads in a week as humanly possible. And I really don't care where I go. There's places I don't like Massachusetts, like Maine, like New Jersey, like Connecticut. I don't like it, but I do it because it's money. Now, of course, I've turned down 2 loads in 3 years. 3 loads. 2 of them were because of clock reasons, and one of them was because it just wasn't making business sense. And after consulting with my fleet manager, he agreed. I'm not in this business to make peanuts either. Don't kid yourself. those are the times that you can turn down, that you should turn down a load. If it doesn't make business sense for you, turn down a load. If my truck doesn't, at least in this market, at least make $500 a day, bare bones minimum $500, I'm not going to take the load. But I've been lucky so far. You know, there's been, I think I took one was $470, but it was a quick turnaround. You know, use your own discretion, but your truck needs to make money. As far as running with fuel, do I do a macro 27? I don't, to be honest with you. I don't use it. I use the app. When I plot my journey, what states, I also use the IFTR taxes, what we get back from IFTR. I use that. Like, in other words, I'll fuel in high price states because the tax break that we get is so enormous. So in other words, we're paying $3.41 going through Pennsylvania as an example. You got to take another additional 76 cents off of that, and that's what you're paying for fuel. Not right away, but at the end of the month when Prime does the IFTA taxes, that's what all comes back. Don't be afraid to fuel in expensive states. Don't make a habit of it, but don't be afraid. But again, getting back to the fueling, I don't do a macro 27 because sometimes, for me, I'm not going to go 50 miles down the road to go to a place that's 2 cents cheaper. You can do it. It's your business. You do what you want. But I'm not going to nickel and dime. That's nickel and diming. Another 2-3 cents a gallon to go across the street, and it's on my way. It's convenient. I'm going to do that all day, every day. You know, I don't run at 55 miles an hour because this Peterbilt doesn't run good at the way it's geared. 55 miles an hour. I'm in 11th gear, and the RPMs are 1,300 when I can be at 65, 12th gear, and it's running 1,100 RPMs. Freightliners, I have no idea how they work. That's probably why they get better fuel miles than a Peterbilt's, because the way the gears are set, taller gears. It has to be. I mean, my trucks are aerodynamic just like a Freightliner. I mean, those are the things that you can nickel and dime, but ultimately, I just say, give me the load, let's go do it, let's get there as fast as I can. Like Lyle's a perfect example, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. He runs that load as far as he can each and every day so he can get to the 90, not only to chill out, and that's when you can relax and get it there as soon as you can. So this way you don't have to take that PTA. This way you have all the time in the world. Like tonight, I don't have to leave till 11:30. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. It's not even 10 o'clock in the morning. I got plenty of time to chill out, take a nap, go for a walk, shower. If I had laundry, I'd do my laundry. This is the time to do it, because I've got 13 hours to do what I need to do. Again, I'm not a sleeper. 6-7 hours tops, I'm good to go. Like a bunny, ready to go. But again, guys, I mean, this is all about over-the-road trucking. This is all I'm trying to say. Not everybody's cut out for it. I understand that. You know, I didn't think I could make it either with the sleep during the day, but I got used to it. I've grown to really like it. I really like over-the-road trucking. No one bothers you. You know, I forgot what it was like to work in an office setting with all the managers and supervisors and quotas and blah, blah, all the politics, all that nonsense. I'm at peace. And that's why I feel it's one of the easiest jobs I've ever done. Not only is it paid good, but there's peace. There's no stress. The only stress is the traffic. And then again, 90% of my running is during the night. Do you think I could have ran from Petersburg, Virginia to here if I got up at, say, 5 o'clock and started my journey up 95? No way. You're stuck in traffic somewhere in Washington, Baltimore. So, always try to, if you can, again, everyone's different, try to run the nights. The nights is where you make the most distance. Wintertime, nights, I'll still run it because the plows are out and salting. They're clearing the roads a lot faster than during the day. Less chances of getting in trouble at night. I don't care. We can argue this until we're blue in the face, but nighttime is your best opportunity to make the distance and being safe. So again, if you're going to come into OTR, you've got to ask yourself a question. can you do this? Do I, as an individual, can I be away from home, be able to make decisions on my own, deal with problems, have inconsistent paychecks? It's what's going to happen. Not every week's going to be an 8 gross or a 7 gross or a 9 gross. It's just not going to happen. And if anybody tells you otherwise, they're lying to you. You know. But overall, your first year, if you break your butt, you will do over $70,000. Take home after taxes, after everything's said and done, fixed costs, blah blah blah, out of pocket expenses for oil, and you're going to do $70K. Where are you going to go and do $70K? Not too many places. And then it can grow into a fleet. You get one truck, you get another truck, and you build a fleet. The next thing you know, you're doubling it. Or you buy a truck and say, listen, Prime is a great company, but it is what it is. It's a mega company, mega trucking company, I should say. So why can't you go buy a truck, save your money, go buy a used truck, and lease on with a company? Use their trailer, use their insurance, and make double that. There's 10,000 different ways to skin a cat, but there's nothing wrong with Prime, or I'm sure somebody else from Swift or Schneider, they'd say the same thing. It fits me. It fits me as a human. It fits me as Henry. Everything I want, I need, I got here at Prime. But just know, I know I'm going on a tangent. I am tired as all. You can make money with Prime. If you look at it, if you look at your check week to week to week, you're going to be disappointed. Stop, because it's a cumulative. Look at it monthly, look at it quarterly. That's the way I do. That's the way I do it. And to be honest with you, after taxes, my last month, after taxes and all, was a little over 9K. Do the math. Tell me what 9K in 4 weeks is. Is every month that way? No, of course not. It can be good and there's going to be bad. Then from the month you go to the quarter. Every 3 months is a quarter. You figure that out. And your next quarter, and your next quarter. And hey, listen, if it's not going well, open your mouth and talk to your fleet manager. Hey, listen, this is where I'm at. This is where I need to be at. You know, and they're going to look at your history and know what you're doing. Do you stop 40 times during the day? You know, do you turn down loads? So really, how much are we capped at Prime? I would say, yeah, we're capped at Prime. There's only so much. I wish it was a little more wide open, but it is what it is. There's 10,000 or 8,000 other truckers. I get it. Everyone needs, to eat from the same pie. There's plenty of work. Prime's got plenty of work. But if you're not doing decent numbers monthly and quarterly, then have a sit down, find out where it's all going wrong. You're doing something wrong. You can blame it on fuel all you want, but fuel's come down. It's $3.41. With the after tax, you're paying nearly low 3s, high 2s. So you can't use fuel as a reason why you're not making money. You want to, you want to nitpick and drive 55 miles an hour? Well, there's going to be some loads you may get that you can't run 55 miles an hour because it's just not going to work. Enough time on your clock, and just enough time on your clock. Again, I'm out here to pick a load up, drop it off, pick a load up, drop it off, pick it up, drop, pick, go, 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 go. That's what me. That's what I'm all about. Go, 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 go. I always say to my fleet manager, as soon as I drop, or sometimes when I'm on my way or getting close to drop, hey, we got anything in the hopper? Now, I know places, like yesterday I was at this one place for 4 hours. I've been there before. I knew it was going to be a pretty long unload. They always do that. And by the time you get your bills, that's another story. So I didn't send a message. But as soon as I got my paperwork and doing my depart call, what do you got going? Hold on, I'm looking. Within 10 minutes, I got this load. So be assertive, too. Don't always let him or her have to reach out to you. Because, again, they're dealing with a lot of drivers, and something can spit the bit, and something can happen, and he forgets about you for a while, and you're sitting there for 2, 3, 4 hours when you could have been driving down to the next load. Almost pick it up if it's a dropping hook and be 20, 30 miles down the road. Meanwhile, you're still sitting at the truck stop. So be proactive. Ask. The worst thing they can say is, nope, there's nothing going on right now. Ask for the business. This is your business. You become a lease operator. This is your business. You're paying for everything. You got a scratch on your fender, you're paying for it. Prime's not paying for it. You got a blown radiator hose, you're paying for it. So if it's your business and this is what you want to do, you want to run your own business, run it efficiently, run it profitably. Run it. So if you do blow a radiator hose, or you miss a couple of days of work for whatever reason, mechanical reasons, or you go home, you've got money, you don't have to worry about nothing. So it's been long enough. Guys, at the end of the day, you've got to be honest with yourself, look in the mirror and say, do I have what it takes to be an over-the-road trucker? Again, it's the easiest job I've ever had, but for some people it will be the hardest job because of the mental stress, planning stuff out. It may not be for everybody. Maybe local, maybe regional, dedicated. There's many different areas or angles you can take in trucking. It doesn't always have to be OTR. OTRs, yes, you get your feet wet. After that, you get your experience, and then after that, you can go any way you want. I love OTR because I get to see the country, I get to look at mountains, I get to drive all over the country. I'm never in the same spot. I'm not taking the same roads every day, and I enjoy doing that. I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. It gives me peace. People like to cut grass, garden, whatever, play cards. I like to drive. I like the scenery. And that's the number one thing. If you do not like to drive and you can't do it day in and day out, OTR is not for you. Just my professional advice. If you can't do the miles, you're not going to make money. And the old adage is, if the wheel's not turning, you're not earning. I'm out. Be safe, make great decisions, and enjoy your weekend.